Hey Soul Tribe, it's the Joy Healer, Kathy Weiss. I use my gifts as an intuitive, clairvoyant, and source energy channel to help people like you find deep fulfillment and lasting freedom at the level of your soul, which is joy. Welcome to your weekly energy reading for the week of July 26th through August 1st, 2020. I am over here in my reading room on the central coast of California, and I'm really excited to be hanging out with you guys today. It is a really interesting time energetically, and I have this really weird mix of emotions. I feel like really like high, like not like high, like woohoo high, but like like energetically like high and excited and full of enthusiasm. And I also feel like emotional, like weepy, like I want to cry a little bit. And this is from me tuning into the collective energy. So remember, or maybe for the first time, if you're just starting to get to know me, I'm highly sensitive. And only about 20% of the population are truly highly sensitive. And what that means is that I can feel energy over greater distances and much stronger than someone who is not highly sensitive. And then I use my gifts as a clairvoyant and an energy channel to interpret that energy and create messages for you, because energy is just energy. It's like a wave, it travels like a light wave or a sound wave. It just is, and we make meaning of it by translating it into words and phrases and images so that we can um, you know have a conversation around it. So things are interesting this week, an interesting mix. But so I'm going to talk about like why yay and also like boo hoo, I might start crying, not like just in an emotional way, not like in a sadness way. But I would love to do some energy healing before we get into that. It can kind of help cleanse the air a little bit. It will help me settle down also and be able to deliver the messages without too much of that up and down. Although, you never know. It's coming in. You guys are coming in really strong for me today. So we'll see. This is selenite. I'm like so into this lately. It number one always reminds me of like the old school like 1980s Superman when he was like going back to Krypton and like the crystals grew out of his cave. But anywho, this gorgeous baby helps to kind of like draw energy and impurities away. I think of it as like an energetic magnet, and it just kind of everything comes right to it, and then I cleanse it for the next time we're gonna go around. So I'm going to start with that. I'm going to start, rather than sending you energy, I'm going to start by sort of like pulling things out of the ether and your aura that might be causing these emotional ripples. And then that may help me communicate really clearly to you what's going on for this week. So if you like to receive, you can have your hands open in a receptive position like this towards me, on your lap, by your side. All those things are great. And if you prefer to observe or not receive today, you can just hands down on your body, lap. You can make light fists and just let those be at your side. That's enough for what we've got going on today. Okay, interesting. So right when I began, I did get like that dropping in sensation of divine white light coming down and prepared to flow through and to you, but it's like on pause, so that I can do more of that pulling or that removing. And that's happening really quickly. It's like okay, and they're like, now receive. Here we go. Changing directions. Gonna let some things flow in. I'm getting flashes of the color green, kind of a darker green. It's still green light. And this is indicative of change. So there is a lot of energy of change flowing. And pink, which is compassion, like self compassionate love from the universe. And I hear the word again, receive. Allow yourself to receive the energy of change. Change is good. It's the only thing that we experience. Like the only constant in our lives is our soul. Everything else around us, within us, without us, changes regularly. So if we can receive the energy with love and compassion, whatever the change is, it will come with more ease and more grace and more alignment and more flow. Take another moment, take a deep breath, receive, and know that everything is going to be okay. Everything already is okay, and that you are safe, held, and loved by this divine light. This healing is complete. That was so fantastic. And I had no idea that energy of change was going to come through in the energy healing, but it makes so much sense with what we've got lining up for this week. And know that if you catch this video and it is not the week of July 26th, 2020, there's going to be some relevant information in here for you no matter what. It's like the universe drops down these little hidden gems for people when they need them. So stick with me. What has been coming up in the energy this week is change of some sort in a like letting go kind of way. And I think this is where like the super excited and also somewhat emotional feelings are coming in and through from you guys, because it's exciting what the change is going to be, but there is also some emotion in the letting go. And this week is the letting go week. So there are four main areas where I'm hearing that many of us need to release and let go of something that no longer serves us. And that is home, career, relationship, or habit. It's not all four. Y'all are not going to have to do all four, but those are the four main themes or energies I'm picking up where we're going to need to let go of something in order to then have the spaciousness for what is meant to come in next. And letting go of something can be difficult because it's familiar and maybe it's even something that we love and enjoy, but it's just that its time has come to an end in our life, and it's not really working for us anymore. And we resist letting go of it because we don't quite fully know what the new thing is that's meant to come in next. So what I want to do is go into the channeled message that I received this morning, because it talks about this letting go. And I think it's going to be like really comforting and really soothing and supportive to help you release this week, or let go, or even just make the decision that it's time to let go, even if you don't take the action on that decision for a week or two or three or something like that. But really, like, that firm knowingness is probably going to be really implanted in you. So let's check it out. I always write down the messages because they often come really early in the morning when I'm meditating, and I want to make sure that I get you what you're meant to hear. So here's what it says for this week. Now is the time of untethering, shedding old skin, letting go. The time has come to move on from that which no longer serves you. It did in the past, and this we say is good and valuable. It has molded and shaped you into who you have become. Rise up into the next, the new right, the more. You were never wrong, not ever. Human life is eternal. Human life is an eternal eternal expression of growth and renewal. A new phase is about to begin for you. Shed, untether, let go now so the process may begin. It is inevitable. We have spoken. This message is complete. Okay, So know that when you're being invited to let go or shed or untether, as this message is suggesting, it doesn't mean that that phase of your life, whether again, um, a home or place that you live, a job or a career, a relationship, and that doesn't always mean romantic. It could be friendships or business or, something else or a habit. It just means that it isn't right for you anymore. But it did bring you goodness and value and opportunity and growth and expansion. But what the message is saying is that life is eternally growth and expansion. And sometimes when a next new phase is about to begin, you have to let go of some of those things in order for the next process to start. And what I'm hearing even right now is the next process is going to start anyway. And so if you can willingly let go and make a decision, it's going to make the renewal process smoother and easier. But you have free will. And so if you don't want to, if you don't want to make the decision or take the actions of letting go, like the universe is going to conspire to make things happen anyway, and it might be even more uncomfortable than you deliberately choosing to go through the discomfort to open up space. um yeah, I just wanted to check my notes and make sure that that's kind of everything that needed to um, get conveyed to you today. So, if you need more help or guidance with that, I would be more than happy to channel personalized messages for you or get some intuitive wisdom about the action steps that you can take right now to help you go through that process. You can find out how to work with me and have a private session at thejoyhealer.com. I love adding oracle cards into the conversation because these inspirational tools can help us sometimes look at the situation with a different perspective or a new light, or kind of open up a line of thinking that we weren't aware of before. And this is the Mother Mary Oracle, which I adore because it has just like a really loving and high vibe sort of energy to it. And speaking of Oracle cards, I'm hearing to tell you this. I recently co created a deck of Oracle cards with a friend, and I don't have it yet live and in person, although it is complete and ready to go. We are getting ready to take it from all the planning phases into the real world. And it is specifically for entrepreneurs, business owners, or people who are thinking about becoming one to navigate the wild ride of emotions that comes along with being your own boss. And I can tell you personally, from being my own boss for about 12 years now, there are days, kind of like the emotions I'm feeling today, days that are like so awesome, and days that are like they just crush you in some way. And like I call them like the head down on the desk moment where you're like crying and overwhelmed and scared and all of those things. So if that speaks to you and you're interested in checking out that deck that I created with a friend, you can go over to entrepreneuraoracle.com. Okay, let's get a card though that goes with today's messages and this week's messages. Oh, and I was gonna, oh, making really fun sound effects because number one, I see like a big gap right there that's calling to me, but I also see a card sticking out a little bit further down. But I actually hear like the gap. It's the gap. So let me split it at there. And see, we have Our Lady of Sacred Sisterhood. I love the color of this card. First of all, that was like the first thing that jumped out at me. It feels warm and it feels inviting, and I feel held and I feel safe. And I'm being asked to remind you that the color for 2020 is gold, and gold is a very warm, rich, mineral gem property, and you can invite that energy in by wearing gold jewelry or gold toned clothes, or sometimes I got my nails painted gold. I don't, maybe next week we'll go back to gold nails. um and so, yeah, that was just kind of the first thing. And then the orange in the image too, my eyes kind of wanted to drop back down to it because I see these like really pretty hearts that are drawn in there. And it just feels so peaceful. And it's really like dropping me down into a place of acceptance of the change and an awareness of the letting go that needs to happen can be done with warmth. It can be done with love. It can be done with sincerity and honesty and appreciation. And just because you are shedding or untethering or releasing something that no longer serves you, it doesn't have to be harsh or angry or violent or threatening or accusing. It can be so gentle. And like I see these swans floating away or swimming in the image, and it's almost like your letting go can be like that. It can just be this graceful release that is tender and loving. But let's jump into the guidebook. It's always wise to see what the author's intention is with the cards, as well as your own initial reaction, right? So when we use oracle cards, it's not because they are the card itself is the answer giver. It's that it's helping to unlock the answers that lie within us already. And so it's a really wonderful tool for self growth and self exploration. It says, even with our human quirks and idiosyncrasies, we are divine beings. Even with our darkness and struggle, we are still divine beings of light. Although it's sometimes easier to imagine the divine as a being of light and somehow above or beyond the material world, um, we miss out on so much if we think of it as that way. So, Our Lady of Sacred Sisterhood has come with a special gift, and it's the gift of experiencing the divine blessings in your physical life. It doesn't mean stepping away from the world with its challenges. It means applying the light in your heart to the challenges. And so I feel like that's really kind of what we're being asked to do in this week of shedding and letting go. It's like, can we do that from that place that is purely in alignment with source energy, which is pure positive love? And can we release with love the things that no longer serve us? Okay, these messages are complete. I was thinking there was going to be more, but that we are complete for today and this week. Guys, I love you. I support you. I am right here with you. I am also shedding and releasing some things this week, so I totally understand what you may be experiencing, and I am happy to support and guide you with a private session. You can go to thejoyhealer.com for all that information. I'm also happy to support and guide you if you are an entrepreneur with the Entrepreneur Oracle's debut deck, Spiritual Support for Entrepreneurs. And you can check that out at entrepreneurauracle.com, or you can always message me or leave a comment because I always respond. I love you guys. I value you. I'm so grateful for you being here with me each week. And I will see you again next week for another intuitive weekly energy reading. Bye.